Well, fans on YouTube, we apologize for the late start today. As you're on the top of the second inning, the first pitch to David Harris is up and away in the count 1-0. We've been live on Facebook the entire time, but due to a technical error, we are just now getting live on YouTube. FerryHawks 2, Blue Crabs nothing after a 2-run home run back in the top of the first inning. Pitch, slow ground ball to third. Tough play from the third baseman, Rodriguez. A throw to first, not in time. David Harris dives to first and beats it out. And there's a runner on first base with a leadoff infield single from David Harris, who had the game-winning RBI single back in the top of the ninth inning yesterday. And he picks up the first hit in today's ball game on a slow ground ball to third. Angel Aguilar came up throwing, and he fired to first a little wide. But let's run you back through the lineup now that we're live on Facebook. And we'll also run you around the defensive alignment. For the Staten Island FerryHawks, and we'll go back in the bottom of the second and do the same once the Blue Crabs are back in the field. Tossing over to first, it's Anthony Rodriguez, the starting pitcher for the Staten Island FerryHawks. Sundberg, the leadoff hitter, struck out. Raul Shaw and Zach Collier also went down via strikeouts. They're 1, 2, and 3 in the Blue Crabs lineup today. Pitch, that's outside in the count 1-0. David Harris, he is the cleanup hitter. He's the DH today, and he singled on a ground ball to third. Alex Crosby is at third base. He bats fifth. Jared Walker is the sixth hitter today. Matt Hibbert in right field in place of Braxton Lee, as Anthony Rodriguez tosses back over to first. Check on David Harris. Michael Baca at shortstop and Mike Falsetti doing the catching. Lefty-lefty matchup. Here's the 1-0 pitch. On the ground is second. Should be two. On to second for one. Back on to first. No, it's not in time. Crosby ran that ball out very effectively. Tilson Herrera had a pretty quick flip to shortstop. Reyes, by the time they threw back to first, it wasn't quite in time to get the out. And Jared Walker will come to the plate with a runner on first base and one out. We're going to run you through some Major League Baseball scores in just a couple of moments. As well as some scores from around the Atlantic League. Top of the second inning with one away and a runner on first. Here's the pitch. Low and away. And oh no, that's a called strike. That looked outside. We'll have to look and see where that goes on the TrackMan, but either way, it's a called strike and the count 0-1. Not much argument from Jared Walker, though. Our TrackMan tells us about 2-3 inches outside. And low for that matter. As he tosses over to first base to check on the runner. Drew Rasmussen of the Tampa Bay Rays had a perfect game that went into the ninth inning, but he ultimately lost his perfect game bid. Around the major leagues, the Guardians over the Blue Jays 7-2 in the bottom of the ninth. The Braves and Marlins are even at 1 in the top of the ninth inning. The Reds over the Cubs 8-5. That's in the bottom of the seventh. The Mets leading the Phillies 6-0 in the top of the eighth. As the 0-1 pitch, big wave and a miss, and the count 0-2. Apologize for the delayed scoreboard updates. We're going to try to get that all sorted out for you in a couple of moments. 2-0 FerryHawks over Southern Maryland. Pitch that's fouled back from Jared Walker, and the count remains 0-2 on the lefty. Let's get back to some of those MLB scores. The White Sox over the Tigers 3-2. That's in the seventh inning. The Royals lead the Dodgers 3-0 in Kansas City. It's the Astros on top of the Athletics 6-1. The Cardinals over the Brewers 6-2. Those in the 8th and 9th innings, respectively. In the 6th inning, it is the Rangers who lead the Mariners 3-2. The Diamondbacks over the Rockies 6-0. 0-2 delivery. That's a little bit low and away, and the count 1-2. The Giants and the Pirates are scoreless in the top of the second. The Twins lead the Angels 2-0. 2 games have gone final. It's the Padres over the Nationals 6-0, and the Rays and Drew Rasmussen, who took a perfect game into the 9th, who beat the Baltimore Orioles 4-1. It was a one-hitter for Rasmussen. Went 8 1/3 innings. Red Sox and Yankees in action tonight at 7 p.m. ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. I'm happy they moved that from 8 to 7. A couple years ago. 1-2 pitch, called strike 3. Jared Walker stood there for an extra second before turning around. A couple of pitches that I can't imagine he was a huge fan of from Tony Gasandi. That last pitch looked a lot closer, but no, that was outside. No, it wasn't very close even. Our TrackMan had that first pitch. That was a called strike, missed by about 2 inches. That last one missed by probably 4 inches. And Walker probably rather not get on the bad side of Tony Gasandi at this point in the ballgame. He goes down looking. In a situation like this, when Walker hasn't had a hit in the last couple of days, pitch swinging a high fly ball, deep left field. This one back to the warning track in front of the wall. It's the left fielder Monhe who makes the catch on a deep fly out the bat of Matt Hibbert. That ball way out of here if we're in Regency Furniture Stadium. But here in Staten Island, it's just a long fly out to left. The balls are flying tonight. The wind is gusting out toward left field, and we've had a couple of long fly balls to left. One left of the yard for Staten Island. Matt Hibbert flies out to the track to end the bottom of the second inning. Oh, we go to end the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It's the Blue Crabs nothing, and the FerryHawks 2 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Are you in the market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated, William Richmond Inc. is licensed, bonded, and insured, and has a 5-star rating on HomeAdvisor. They care about their work almost as much as they care about your home. Call 443-432-3426 today for a free estimate, or go to williamrichmondinc.com. Don't forget to mention the Blue Crabs and save 10% on any service.
Well, Ramon Osuna steps in from the left side to start things in the bottom of the second, and he takes a call and strike, count 0-1. 0-1 pitch, swinging a line drive into right center for a base hit. And Ramon Osuna is aboard to get things started in the top of the second. Line drive into right center past the outstretched reach of Raul Shah. And there's a runner on first base with nobody out. The 5th hit of the day for the Staten Island FerryHawks. A single and a 2-run home run from Angel Aguilar. The difference right now, a 2-0 lead for Staten Island. Pitch, line drive right over to third, on a second for one, back to first. It was a one-hopper, and Alex Crosby goes around the horn, 5-4-3 for a double play. And now there are 2 outs. Brian Gonzalez grounds into the 5-4-3 double play. So very quickly, 2 outs in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Didn't take long for Alex Merrithew to quickly change the way things were headed. Alfredo Reyes, the 9-hitter, steps in. First pitch, a called strike. That's in the outer half in the count 0-1. Well, Tony Gisandi, the home plate umpire, has really gave some tough calls to Jared Walker. 0-1 fastball is away. Count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Glad you could join us this afternoon as the 1-1 pitch a little bit low in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, fans, we apologize for not bringing you the first inning of this baseball game. We had some technical difficulties earlier, but glad we could have it for you right now. 2-1 pitch, that's a called strike. To the chagrin of Alfredo Reyes. Does not think that was in the zone, but either way, it's a called strike in the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch. Line drive foul back behind home plate. And the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. The fastball velocity at 89 here from Merrithew. We discussed this in how in his previous game, that velocity higher, 90 to 92, touching 93 and 94. And we'll see if that has an impact on Merrithew. 2-2 pitch, ground ball to shortstop. Gobbled up by Baca between the legs. He fires to first. And that ends the bottom of the 2nd inning. A speedy 8-pitch. Bottom of the 2nd inning for Alex Merrithew as he retires the FerryHawks in order. We go to the top of the 3rd inning on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. 8, 9, and 1 come to the plate for the Blue Crabs in the top of the third as Southern Maryland trails 2-0. First pitch called strike. That's on the outside corner on the count 0-1. A much smaller, and this is comparatively, ship is going by in the waters out in left center field. I'm not sure if Wes Mumper has a good look at it or not, but I'm sure he could tell us what that is. Does not look like a cargo ship. 1-1 delivery. It's upstairs in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. FerryHawks 2, Blue Crabs nothing. In the top of the third inning, pitch. That's a little bit away in the count. 3 balls and 1 strike on Michael Baca, who had a hit in yesterday's ball game. Was a line drive single to left. 3-1. Called strike. That one just barely clips the inside corner of the count, 3-2. Baca to be followed by Mike Falsetti, who had 3 hits yesterday. None of them all that hard hit, but either way, he picked up 3 hits. Pitch, line drive right to first. That ball caught by Ramon Osuna on a hard line drive to first base. Ball is well hit from Baca, but Baca goes down. Now Mike Falsetti to the plate. The thought for Southern Maryland has to be that they're getting closer with regard to getting back to 100% full health. As the pitch is up and away, and the count 1 ball and no strikes now on Falsetti. But you have guys like Nick Wells who are getting back to the position where they're going to be ready to pitch some innings. Pitch to Falsetti, fouled off first base side, count 1-1. Patrick Baker getting there, and then your fielders as well. I think Ryan Haug, he's been in and out of the lineup recently, battling through a couple of nagging injuries. The same can be said for Joe DeLuca, who thought is that he's close, might be available to start in Gastonia, possibly a pinch hit today, but that seems a little unlikely. 1-1 pitch outside, count 2-1. Playing it more conservatively with him, especially with the playoffs upcoming. Pitch, line drive, very well struck to center field, but it's right at the center fielder Ricardo Cespedes, who makes the catch for the second out. Now that ball might have been better hit than his 3 base hits yesterday. Either way, it's merely a fly out to center. Jack Sundberg, who went down on strikes back in the first inning, comes to the plate. The Blue Crabs have just 1 hit in this ball game, and it was on a soft ground ball to third base from David Harris. Well, the Blue Crabs have their second best hitter for average out of the lineup tonight. Is the first pitch, check swing on a bunt, and he went around. Nope, or did he not? I guess he did not. J.B. Torres said that he pulled back. .1-0 pitch, called strike, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike on Jack Sundberg as the pitch just barely caught the outer edge. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Staten Island 2, Southern Maryland nothing. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike. Oh, that is strike 3. You see that first pitch that they motioned down to first base, he didn't pull up, and so it was strike 3. They never corrected the count here. And that ends the top of the third inning. For the second try in 3 times, it is a 1-2-3 inning for Anthony Rodriguez. He struck out the side in the first. He sends the Blue Crabs down in order here in the second. While we go to the bottom of the third inning, the Blue Crabs trail 2-0 from Staten Island, New York. Oh, we get started in the bottom of the third inning as Alex Merrithew back to the mound after a 1-2-3 bottom of the second inning. We go to the bottom of the third inning. 2-0 Staten Island. The first pitch to Joseph Monhay. Ground ball. Almost a sliding stop by Baca. Couldn't quite get the glove down in time. And so there's a runner on first base with a leadoff single. And Merrithew's been someone who pitches to contact for the most part. He's not going to walk a lot of batters. He's going to allow guys to get some contact on these pitches. And in some past games, the fielders have really stepped up and helped him out. But today, it seems like everything's finding a hole. And that first one, or that last one, I should say, off the bat of Joseph Monhay is a base hit yet again. First pitch, a called strike. And the count 0-1. Runner on first base for the FerryHawks. Oh, I beg your pardon, that one was outside. Count 1-0. One-0 delivery, low and away. Count 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody out. Runner on first base for the FerryHawks. Here's the 2-0 pitch. One away again, count 3-0. Just when I was saying he throws a lot of strikes and almost pitches to contact, well, now he's behind in the count 3-0. The 3-0 pitch from Merrithew. Called strike. That's in the inside corner, and the count 3 balls and 1 strike. A fastball from Merrithew. Again, only 88 to 89 today. We've talked about this a few times already, but the velocity keeps coming in right in that same spot. 3-1 pitch, line drive to right field. It's Matt Hibber who takes a few steps in. He makes a catch. He thinks about firing to first base as Monhay was originally off on the pitch, but he retreats to the bag. So a fly out to right, and there's 1 away in the bottom of the third inning. Angel Aguilar comes to the plate. 2 1/3 so far from Alex Merrithew. 36 pitches, 26 strikes. He has allowed 5 hits today. 6 hits, including a home run. He's only struck out 1 batter. Aguilar took him deep last time up. And they got another guy in a rundown as Monhay took off a little bit early. Baca now tosses to first, and they're still getting him in a rundown. Walker tags him out on the way back to second. I put up a pretty good fight there between first and second. Either way, he's caught stealing. It's the second time today Merrithew's picked off a runner who left a little bit too early. So 2 outs now in the bottom of the third inning. Another opportunity for a 1-2-3 inning of the less conventional variety. Picked off Ramon Osuna, who left a little bit early. Or I beg your pardon, picked off Rusney Castillo and then got a double play last inning. And the first pitch, a called strike to Angel Aguilar, and the count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. We'll give you the distance on a couple of those long fly balls. Pitch, line drive right to the left fielder, Jack Sundberg, on the 0-1 pitch, and that ends the bottom of the third inning. Another quick inning from Alex Merrithew. He's thrown just 37 pitches across the first 3. We're still going to give you some of those numbers that I promised, and how hard some of those balls were hit and how far they went. As Joseph Monhay has had a couple of balls that are hit north of 105 miles an hour. Rusney Castillo hit one 105, and Angel Aguilar's home run hit 403 feet. Matt Hibbert's fly ball at 368, according to the TrackMan. Well, we will step aside from Staten Island when we come back. It's the top of the 4th inning as the Blue Crabs look to get the bats going. top of the fourth inning. First pitch inbound to Raul Shah. It's a little bit outside in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. The Blue Crabs nothing. The FerryHawks 2. Southern Maryland has mustered just 1 hit today. It's been a tough go of things at the plate. As the 1-0 delivery, that's outside as well. Count 2-0. Meanwhile, Alex Merrithew has allowed quite a few hard hit balls today, including a 2-run home run from Angel Aguilar. The 5 hardest hit balls have all come from FerryHawks batters. Pitch. High pop up. This one into shallow right. Rusney Castillo moves in, and he makes the catch. And there is 1 away. Well, Anthony Rodriguez has retired 10 out of 11 to get things started in today's ballgame. Here comes Zach Collier. He'll be followed by David Harris here in the 4th. Well, Blue Crabs are going to need some real offense to get going. Home run balls are not easy to come by in Staten Island. Pitch popped it up foul, third base side. Straightaway center is just 390, but left center appears to be a little further, maybe 400 or 395. Certainly does not come in. And right field isn't shallow, but it's not as deep. Pitch low, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Blue Crabs, of course, have the wall in left field. That's about 320 feet to 330, depending on where you are on the mini monster. Pitch to Collier. That's a called strike. Count 1 and 2. Right down the line is 310, but by the time you get to the edge of the mini monster, it's probably closer to 340. That's in left center. Right field very deep at Regency Furniture Stadium. 1-2 pitch. Line drive, and that one's snagged over at first base by Ramon Osuna. He makes the catch, and there are 2 away. Looked like it might be a base hit for Zach Collier. Instead, a line out to first, and there are 2 away now in the top of the 4th inning. Well, the Blue Crabs aren't a bad team when surrendering the first run. In fact, they win most games when they surrender the first run. We'll give you some of the numbers on that momentarily. When the Blue Crabs score the first run, they are 40-12, which is very good. But when they do not score the first run, this team is 28-19. 28-19 when allowing the first run. 1-0 pitch. Line drive. This one goes through the hole on the left side for a base hit. David Harris has come to the plate twice, and he's picked up 2 singles. And there's a runner on first base with 2 outs for Alex Crosby. Well, Anthony Rodriguez has made quick work of the Blue Crabs up until this point. Allows just his 2nd hit of the day. Two 2-0 Staten Island in the top of the 4th inning. Blue Crabs no runs on 2 hits for the FerryHawks, 2 runs on 6 hits. Pitch comes up and in on Alex Crosby in the count 0-1. We'll give you the numbers on Alex Merrithew and Anthony Rodriguez for velocity in 1 moment. Pitch to Crosby, line drive, left center field. This one is going to drop in the gap for a base hit. Harris waved around third. The relay throw to the plate comes up the line. It's an RBI double for Alex Crosby, who goes opposite field for an RBI double, and the Blue Crabs deficit cut to 2-1. Crosby sliced that ball into the left center field alley just out of the reach of Joseph Monhay. Here comes Jared Walker. Well, about time I give you the numbers on the maximum velocity. Marathew's thrown as hard as 90.3. Remember, last time he threw as hard as 93.7. So significant difference there. Anthony Rodriguez has also thrown exactly 90.3 as his highest pitch velocity. Average for Marathew at 88.4, for Rodriguez at 88.6. So again, the average is right in that 88 range as the first pitch low and away. Count 1-0. Pitch to Jared Walker comes way up and in, and it hits him on the right arm. And there are runners on first and second now. Back to the numbers last time out from Alex Marathew. His average fastball velocity was 91, 90.6 to be precise. He topped out at 93.7. Today, the average velocity down about 2 miles an hour. And he's topped out at 90.3, which is lower than his average last time out. So now 2 on and 2 out, as it appears as though Edgardo Alfonso going to come out to have a conversation with Tony Gisandi. Well, Joe Walsh out to coach first base. I'm not sure why he was headed back to the dugout for a moment, but he did. 2 on, 2 out for Southern Maryland, as they now trail 2-1. The pitch, that's low. Count, no balls and 1 strike. Oh, it's a called strike, I beg your pardon, on Matt Hibbert. Anthony Rodriguez, the starting pitcher for Staten Island, has finally run himself into a bit of a jam. 0-1. Swing and a foul tip in the count 0-2. Helicopters flying overhead, cruise ships out in right field. So we're going to do something a little different for our trivia question. We'll do a bit of a guess here, all right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to see how many cargo ships or cruise ships pass by center field between now and the top of the 4th inning and the start of the 8th inning. So we'll keep count. Don't worry. Pitch. Called strike 3. Matt Hibbert goes down looking. Not a fan of the call from Tony Gisandi. This is one, there have been a lot of questionable calls in today's ballgame. So if you'd like to guess for our question today as to how many either cargo ships or cruise ships are passing by throughout the course of today's ball game, go ahead, give it a guess in the YouTube chat, and we will announce the answer in the 8th inning. We'll keep count with you. Stick with us as we go to break. It's time for the bottom of the 4th inning. The Blue Crabs got 1 back in the inning. They still trail 2-1 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network.
Market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated, William Richmond Inc. is licensed, bonded, and insured, and has a 5-star rating on HomeAdvisor. They care about their work almost as much as they care about your home. Call 443-432-3426 today for a free estimate, or go to WilliamRichmondInc.com. Don't forget to mention the Blue Crabs and save 10% on any service.
Well, Rusty Castillo steps in. The first pitch from Marathew is a called strike, and the count no balls and 1 strike on the righty. Oh, 1 delivery to Castillo. Chopper over to short, slowly hit. It's Baca who charges in and fires to first, and there is 1 away. We can give you an idea of where that pitch was to Matt Hibbert. That third pitch that he was called out on, it was borderline. It was right there, though, according to the TrackMan, it was a strike. As Ricardo Cespedes comes to the plate. First pitch, line drive over the head of the second baseman, Raul Shah, into right field for a base hit. So 1 out single. As Mario Bautista comes to the plate. Bautista 0 for 1 today. He struck out in his first at bat. The pitch count low for Marathew. That's going to happen when you pitch to contact and throw a lot of strikes. And Marathew has thrown 41 pitches, 31 strikes. So again, if he's able to really settle down here the rest of the way, and he did to an extent in the second and third, but he has to probably do a little more so. Pitch, fly ball, shallow right. It's Matt Hibbert who takes a couple of steps back and makes the catch, and there are 2 away. He's able to keep this sort of consistency with strong defense going. The Blue Crabs have a good shot today, and Marathew can go very deep. And he's thrown 42 pitches through 3 2/3. So, I mean, even if he was halfway done at this point, he'd still go 7 1/3. And at 42 pitches, you'd think he's got more left in the tank than that. Tosses over to first to check on the runner. As Ramon Osuna taps home plate twice. A couple minutes past 5 p.m. in the evening. The pitch, that's low, and the count 1 ball and no strikes on Osuna, who is 1 for 1 today, a single before he was caught stealing. He hits just 192 on the year. 1-0 delivery. Foul back behind home plate. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tosses over to first to have another look at Ricardo Cespedes, who has a short lead over there. Ramon Osuna played his first games in Southern Maryland. Hit an opposite field home run back on July 13th. And hit his second home run against the Genomes just a week later, but since then the numbers have been very quiet for Osuna as the 1-1 pitch was away. Count 2-1 now. Marathew set. 2-1, it's foul away. Third base side, count 2-2. No home runs here in the month of August. In fact, he's just 3 for 22. On the year, 15 walks compared to 13 hits for Osuna. 2-2 pitch. A little low, I guess. Good throw down to second. It gets past the shortstop, Baca, and that allows the runner to advance to third base. Stolen base from Ricardo Cespedes. We'll have to see who gets credited with the error, if anyone. As Cespedes to third base on a throw from Mike Falsetti that was close, but a little bit low. 3-2 pitch, that's low. It's ball 4, and now there are runners on the corners with 2 outs. It's the first walk issued by Alex Marathieu. It's just the second time he's walked a batter all month. He walked 1 batter against Charleston across 7 innings. He did not walk a batter in 8 innings against High Point. 2 runs on 7 hits and a walk here through 3 2/3. Pitch called strike, and the count 0-1 on Brian Gonzalez. So throwing error credited to Mike Falsetti. 0-1 pitch, runner goes. Falsetti fakes a throw, now looks to third. Has no play at third base either, so he does not throw the ball. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. So we had our game we were just going to go ahead and play, which is how many. Okay, so we have a couple answers already. The question is how many cargo ships and cruise ships will pass by between the middle of the 4th inning and the 8th inning. Now, we've got 1 out in center field right now. That doesn't count. It's a little too small, I think. You guys can overrule me if you think. Dennis Moore says 6. Tammy Shipley says, my daughter Allison says 6. She says 8. So we got a bit of a game going here with the ships out in center field. You know what? I think maybe that does count. That's about as small as we can go. But we're going to count that. So we have 1 ship right now in the bottom of the 4th inning. I've overruled myself. We have 1. Pitch. This one on the ground over to shortstop. Baca fields between the legs. He fires to first. And that ends the bottom of the 4th inning. Well, the Staten Island FerryHawks pick up 1 hit. They have 1 walk. They strand 2 at the end of 4. It's the Blue Crabs 2 and the FerryHawks 1 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Top of the 5th inning for Michael Baca to get things started for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. It's 2-1 FerryHawks. Blue Crabs got a run back in the top of the 4th. First pitch to Baca. That's low on the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Blue Crabs 1 run on 3 hits. 2 of the hits come courtesy of David Harris, who is 2 for 2 today. 1-0 pitch, that's inside, count 2-0. Home. 2-0 delivery. On the ground, this one over to shortstop. Fielded on the forehand by Reyes. Strong throw to first is in time to get Baca, and there is 1 away. And here comes Mike Falsetti. Well, Anthony Rodriguez has been really good. Rodriguez, 4 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, 6 strikeouts for Merrithew. Hasn't been as planned, one could say, but he's kept the damage to a minimum. To the first pitch, I should say, to Mike Falsetti, a swinging strike. The count 0-1, 1 away, 1 out, 2-1, Staten Island. Merrithew, 4 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. This one foul back behind home plate, and the count 0-2. At some point, if you allow enough hard hit balls, one's going to come back to bite you. That's sort of what happened in the first inning for Merrithew. Merrithew allowed a 2-run home run in the first inning. Pitch, line drive, foul, first base side, and the count remains no balls and 2 strikes on Mike Falsetti, who flied out to center field his first time up, had 3 hits and reached base 4 times yesterday. Again, fans, our question or game today: how many container ships, cargo ships, or cruise ships will pass in center field? We have 1 right now, or 1 total has gone by. It started in the middle of the 4th inning. We go until the start of the 8th inning. We're going to close things off in the start of the 8th inning so we can announce our official answer. 1-2 pitch, ground ball, first base side, and the count remains 1-2. This is one of the best views in baseball. There's no question about it. You compare this to Yankee Stadium, to Fenway Park, and those have a special atmosphere to them, no doubt, but this also a special place in baseball. 1-2 pitch is a called strike 3 on Mike Falsetti, who does not like the call from Tony Gasandi. And there are 2 away as Falsetti goes down looking at strike 3, and here comes Jack Sundberg, who's gone down on strikes twice already today. That pitch was inside. Falsetti's right. Missed by at least 2 to 3 inches, according to our TrackMan. As the first pitch upstairs in the count, 1 ball and no strikes on Jack Sundberg, whose batting average down to .256 on the season. 1-0 pitch to Sundberg. Upstairs, count 2-0. And of course, the Blue Crabs very much looking forward to getting guys like Joe DeLuca back in the lineup and Michael Baca healthy every night, and getting this team back to 100%. Michael Wolanski as well. Pitch to Sundberg, called strike. That one on the inside corner, count 2-1. It also does mean that you'd probably have to think about who's going to be the odd man out in a perfectly healthy lineup. Blue Crabs were going with for a long time was Haug at the plate, DeLuca at first, Walker in left, which meant that one of the outfielders had to come out of the lineup. As a 2-1 pitch is upstairs, count 3-1. And the Blue Crabs were going with Sundberg out of the lineup sometimes, Lee at the top. Collier would take a day off from time to time. The others would also get a day off. Pitch, line drive, right center field. This one drops for extra bases. Goes all the way to the wall, past the center fielder Cespedes. Sundberg jumps on his horse. He's got a 2-out triple. And the Blue Crabs have a runner on third base with 2 outs as Cespedes trying to get that ball at the warning track. as Sundberg picks up his hit. As Raul Shah comes to the plate, the tying run 90 feet away. Shah steps in, he uses that red bat. And the pitch, that's a little bit upstairs and outside. Count 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Top of the 5th inning. Runner on third base. It's Jack Sundberg, who tripled moments ago. And the 1-0 pitch, big swing and a miss. Now a snap throw down to third base. And Sundberg dives in safely. Raul Shah 0 for 2 today. Struck out in the first, and he flied out to right field in the 4th inning. Bring you back through the scoring in today's ball game. A 2-run home run for Staten Island. That came back in the 1st inning off of Angel Aguilar's bat as he drove in Joseph Monje. As the 1-1 pitch, a little bit upstairs and outside, count 2-1. For the Blue Crabs, an RBI double from Alex Crosby scored David Harris from first base. That also back in the 4th inning. 2-1 delivery, line drive, shallow center field. It drops for a base hit. Sundberg scores from third, an RBI single from Raul Shah, and the Blue Crabs tie the score at 2. Well, a couple of hits, and all of a sudden, this ball game is tied. Blue Crabs have 2 runs on 5 hits. That's compared to 2 runs on 7 hits from Staten Island. So the 2-out triple from Jack Sundberg comes back to cost the FerryHawks. And here comes Zach Collier. I wouldn't expect Shah to steal, as the pitch is in there for a called strike. He runs well enough, but Raul Shah has not stolen all that many bases this season. To be exact, he's stolen none. Was 4 for 7 last year in the Pioneer League. 0-1 pitch, swinging a high pop-up, shallow right field. It's the second baseman, Dilson Herrera, who's now called off by the right fielder, Rusney Castillo, who makes the catch for the final out. Well, that ends the top of the 5th inning. We're halfway done in Staten Island, but the Blue Crabs come back and tie the score at 2 with an RBI single from Raul Shah. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Staten Island comes to the plate when we come back. bottom of the 5th inning as the Blue Crabs and FerryHawks even at 2. First pitch, swinging a ground ball up the middle for a base hit. As Alfredo Reyes, the 9-hitter for Staten Island, gets the offense started for the FerryHawks, who've had a base runner in every inning. That was their 8th hit of the ball game. As Joseph Monhay comes to the plate. Blue Crabs 2, Staten Island 2. And the pitch a little bit low. Falsetti fires down to first to check on the runner, and Walker was alert, but was not in a position to tag him out. Monhay will be followed by Dilson Herrera and Angel Aguilar in the inning. Pitch, ground ball foul, third base side. Monhay 2 for 2, a single back in the first when he came around and scored a run. In the third inning, he singled and was caught stealing. Marathu set. 1-1 pitch. I guess it was low in the dirt, although I'm not entirely sure. Was it a foul ball? He might have foul bunted that ball. Honestly, a little unclear as to what happened there, but the umpire put his hands up, and I guess it was a foul bunt. Had some trouble tracking that ball, as saw it got away from Falsetti, but didn't see anything more than that. 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Marathu tosses to first to check on the runner, Alfredo Reyes. Two balls, 2 strikes on Joseph Monhay. Runner goes, pitch, ground ball over to short. Baca has only 1 play, it's at first base, and he fires in time for the out. Well, because the runner was going on the pitch, it's not a 6-4-3 double play. Instead, it's just a 6-3 ground out. And Dilson Herrera comes to the plate. Puts a runner in scoring position with 1 out. A couple opportunities for the 2 and 3 hitters to get some offense going. Well, the pitch count very low for Alex Marathu. I don't think he'll be taken out of this game because of pitch count really at any point. It was 4 1/3 innings from Marathu so far, 58 pitches. The pitch count a little up more recently. But the pitch, that's low, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. The rubber match in a 3-game set. The Blue Crabs coming into this ball game with a 68-31 record. This is game number 100 on the season. As the pitch, a called strike, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. The Blue Crabs will either have a 690 winning percentage or a 680 winning percentage after today's ball game. It'll be 68-32 or 69-31. The pitch, ground ball foul, third base side. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away with a runner on second base. See if we have any other guesses in our YouTube chat. And Melissa A, who says, let's go Dr. Shaw. Dennis Moore says, good afternoon all from Possum Point in Jena, Louisiana. And now another runner caught on a rundown as Reyes took off a little early. For the 3rd time today, a base running error from Staten Island, taking off a little bit too quickly. And so there are 2 away in the 5th. It doesn't hurt when you can get an inning's worth of base running mistakes for Alex Maratheu. I'm sure he's very grateful. So 4 2/3 innings so far for the righty across 62 pitches. 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. It's just his second strikeout of the day, but he retires yet another batter. It's a 1-2-3 inning. It's his third 1-2-3 inning, despite the fact that he's allowed a hit and a base runner in every inning. It's a little confusing, but he's managed to do it after 3 pickoffs here through 5 innings of play. This ball game even at 2 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. It is the top of the 6th inning for David Harris today, as the first pitch low in the dirt and gets away from the catcher, Brian Gonzalez. It was a late replacement in the lineup. It's a 2-2 ball game. Give you more on that in a moment. David Harris at the plate. Haven't seen as many big ships going by recently. 1-0 pitch. A little bit upstairs. Count 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. Or I beg your pardon, the top of the 6th inning. The pitch that's popped up in the infield. It's the second baseman. It's Dilson Herrera who calls everybody else off and makes the catch for the first down. Well, Alex Maratheu for the Blue Crabs has worked around 8 hits and a walk today. Only allowed 2 runs through 5 innings. Back to the point, though, on Brian Gonzalez. It was Andres Noriega who was supposed to get the start today. He was in the lineup until about 90 minutes before first pitch, around 2:30, when there was a late change from Edgardo Alfonso, the manager for the FerryHawks. As the pitch called strike on the inside corner, and the count 0-1. Well, David Harris had 2 hits coming into that at bat. He pops out to second base. Alex Crosby is 1 for 2 today. Pitch, swing and a fly ball, center field. This one well struck. Ricardo Cespedes takes a few steps back in front of the warning track, though, where he makes the catch. Chest high, and there are 2 away. Anthony Rodriguez, 80 pitches, 50 strikes, no walks, through 5 2/3 innings. If he continues at this rate, I could see him not only finishing out this inning, but going into the 7th as well, though there is action now in Staten Island's bullpen. Again, if the Blue Crabs go away from Marathon at this point in the ball game, you'd have to think it would be because of that they would like to go to the bullpen, change the arm more than the pitch count situation, as Marathon has only thrown 62 pitches across 5 innings. First pitch low and away, count 1 ball and no strikes on Jared Walker. Lefty-lefty matchup as the 1-0 pitch is in there for a called strike at the knees, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. 2-2 in the top of the 6th. 2-run home run from Staten Island set the stage. That was back in the top of the first inning. 1-1 pitch, low and away, count 2-1. But from there, the Blue Crabs battled back slowly. An RBI double in the 4th from Alex Crosby, and an RBI single from Raul Shaw to score Jack Sundberg, who had a 2-out triple the batter prior. 2-1 delivery to Walker. Swing and a miss, count 2-2. The called strike, which was on the second pitch of the at-bat, according to our TrackMan, was a solid probably 5-6 inches outside. It wasn't particularly close. 2-2 pitch. Line drive, well hit, left field side. This ball tailing foul and does go foul to the seats. It's hit probably 300 feet or 250 to 300 feet down that third base side onto the concourse level, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. This will be the 6th pitch of the at-bat upcoming to the lefty Jared Walker. Here's the pitch. That one looked close, maybe a little bit low and away, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. There have been a lot of pitches that have been in that same sort of area that Tony Gasandi has called strike 3. 3-2, that's up and in, it's ball 4. So a walk for Jared Walker, who reaches for the 2nd time today, was hit by a pitch last time up. Still looking for his first hit in the series. But he has reached base 4 times. Here comes Matt Hibbert, runner on first base with 2 outs. Watch out for a steal from Walker with 2 outs in the inning, and Hibbert hitting the ball pretty well despite the fact his average might not show it. Hitting just .211, but had a fly out to the warning track in his first at bat. Pitch called strike at the knees, and the count 0-1 on Matt Hibbert. For the Blue Crabs, 2 runs on 5 hits. Anthony Rodriguez has walked 1 and hit 1. 7 total base runners for Southern Maryland, 9 for Staten Island. Pitch, line drive into right field, base hit. Walker goes station to station. He holds up at second base, but a 2-out base hit from Matt Hibbert. And there are 2 on with 2 out. As Anthony Rodriguez has started to run into trouble, not only here in the 6th, but in the last couple innings as well, and this might just do it as Edgardo Alfonso comes out to the mound, looks down to the bullpen a couple of times. He now puts his hand out to signal that that's going to be it for the starter, Anthony Rodriguez. Across 5 2/3 innings, he allows 2 runs on 6 hits. He walks 1 and leaves 2 runners on base. We will step aside for the pitching change as the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs have 2 on with 2 out. When we come back in the top of the 6th inning, this ball game level at 2. Well, the first pitch swinging from Michael Baca. It's on the ground at third base and is fielded by the third baseman Angel Aguilar. Just one pitch from Eric Marinez, the new pitcher who entered the ball game for Staten Island to end the sixth inning. Well, we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. It's still the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs 2 and the Staten Island FerryHawks 2 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning as the Blue Crabs and the FerryHawks are level at 2. Eric Marinez entered the ball game for Staten Island in relief of the starter Anthony Rodriguez. First pitch. It's a called strike, and the count 0-1 on Angel Aguilar, who bats third for Staten Island, as they will send 3, 4, and 5 to the plate against Alex Marathieu in the sixth. Pitch, swing and a miss, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Count, no balls and 2 strikes. We'll take you around the Atlantic League as well as the major leagues in just one moment. Pitch, swing a high fly ball, well struck to right. This one sends Hibbert over to the line, and he makes the catch about 15 feet in front of that foul pole in right field. It's only 318 down the line, so that ball gets out of here in a hurry. That was awfully close down that right field line. Either way, there is one away in the sixth. Alex Marathieu has thrown just 65 pitches across 5 1/3. No action right now in the Blue Crabs bullpen, but there are some guys who are up and stretching. First pitch a little bit away in the count 1-0. It's honestly a little tough to tell who's up. The pitch, called strike. Inside corner on Rusney Castillo, the count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The 1-1 pitch has popped up in foul territory behind home plate, and the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Merrithew dropped the ball on the throw back to the mound. Let's bring you around the Atlantic League. The Wild Health Genomes over the York Revolution 13-2. High Point on top of Gastonia 4-3. That's in the top of the 6th. The pitch, check swing right back to the mound. Rusney Castillo jogs slowly to first, but Alex Merrithew runs most of the way and flips to Walker for the second out. And here comes Ricardo Cespedes. So let's give you a little more information on those games. So it's 4-2 Charleston over Long Island, and then Lancaster on top of Lexington. That game's final 4-1. The Genomes and Revs are about to be final as well. That's in the bottom of the 9th inning. First pitch to Ricardo Cespedes is low as we approach 5:50 in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1-0 delivery, line drive, well hit, right center field, base hit, and likely extra bases. It's Collier who tracks it down. He fires in, but not before Cespedes jogs into second with a 2-out double. Well, we've seen the impact of extra base hits with 2 outs already in this ballgame when Jack Sundberg hit a triple, I should say, to the warning track with 2 outs. That came back in the 5th inning. The next batter, Raul Shah, singled him into center to tie the score at 2. This time a double from Cespedes with 2 outs. It's Mario Bautista to the mound. Appears as though Alcis Herrera might be warming up, along with Dario Polanco. As the pitch called strike and the count 0-1 on Mario Bautista. Not up and throwing yet, they're merely stretching right now. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. No action in the FerryHawks bullpen, so it looks as though they'll go back to Marinez for the 7th. Merrithew looks back at the runner. Here's the 0-1. Low in the dirt, nicely blocked by Falsetti. So he keeps it in front of himself in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. With the exception of the throwing error today, Falsetti hasn't had any mistakes behind the plate. No pass balls, and he's kept wild pitches to a minimum. Alex Merrithew, 73 pitches, 52 strikes. One delivery. Low in the dirt, count 2 balls and a strike. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs for Merrithew. Allowed 2 runs on 9 hits with a walk. A lot of hits today from Merrithew. Merrithew comes set. 2-1 pitch to Bautista. That's low, count 3-1. He's at risk of walking his second batter today. Might be an example of just being a little too careful as he's got a runner in scoring position with 2 outs and doesn't want to give Bautista anything too good to hit. Runner goes in the pitch, swinging a high fly ball, well struck, rather deep to left center, but Sundberg jumps on his horse and tracks it down and makes the catch for the final out in left center field. Well, that ends the inning. The Staten Island FerryHawks picked up a hit, but no runs at the end of 6 innings of play. It's the Blue Crabs 2. It's the FerryHawks 2 on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. And the first pitch to Mike Falsetti is popped up. And Ramon Osuna takes about one step back and makes the catch for the first out. One pitch and one out here in the top of the 7th inning from Eric Marinez, who came in with 2 outs in the top of the 6th inning and had one pitch and one out there. So now 2 pitches and 2 outs for Marinez. I don't think he would complain about the quick work. And the first pitch, swing and a foul tip. The count 0-1 to Jack Sundberg, who tripled his last time up. It was Raul Shah who drove him in. We had our second larger ship go by. That was toward the bottom of the 6th inning. The 1-1 offering. Line drive, hard hit, third base side. This one headed toward the seats, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Top of the 7th inning. 1 away, count 1 ball and 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter, Sundberg. So for those of you counting at home, we have just 2 ships so far that have passed us by, and they haven't even been the incredibly large ones. They're just larger than ones I normally see. 1-2 pitch, hard line drive, foul, third base side. None of the massive container ships yet, but we still have the entirety of the 7th inning. So right now our answer is 2 for our trivia question game, which was how many container ships, cargo ships, or cruise ships will pass in center field. Again, that ends in the 7th inning. We have Ben Marathew watching from Liberty, Missouri. Well, Ben, welcome to the broadcast. And John Higgs says, go Crabs. Count 2-2 as the 1-2 pitch missed outside to Sundberg. Alex Marathew, for the most part today, has avoided trouble on the mound for Southern Maryland. With the exception of the 2 runs allowed back in the first, the pitch to Sundberg. One hopper over to short. Reyes had some initial trouble with it. He fires to first to get Sundberg by about a half a step. And there are 2 away. At the plate, the Blue Crabs, a little more productive than yesterday, though still not wildly productive. 2 runs on 6 hits. They have tallied a walk and a hit batsman as well, but that's about it. As Raul Shah comes to the plate. Shah hitting .236 on the year, had a single earlier in this ball game. The pitch, it's a swing and a miss and a breaking ball low and away. And the count 0-1. Let's give you a bit of an update on those scores from around the Atlantic League. 2 games have gone final now. 13-2 Wild Health over York. And the Barnstormers lead the Legends, or beat the Legends, 4-1 today. 0-1 pitch, a little bit away, count 1-1. Charleston over Long Island 4-3, and High Point on top of Gastonia 4-3. The rubber match of a 3-game set for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs against Staten Island. 1-1, check swing, it was upstairs. Did he go? They motioned down to the first base umpire, J.B. Torres, who was surprised he was asked and said no, he did not go. And the count 2-1. We had 3 answers to our trivia question today. We had 6 from Dennis Moore, 6 from Allison, and 6 from Tammy Shipley. Or 8 from Tammy Shipley. So right now it looks like we're going under 6 because only 2 so far have passed between the 4th and the 7th inning. As the 2-1 pitch a little bit low and the count 3 balls and 1 strike. But you never know. We could have a few ships pass in the next 10 to 15 minutes. 3-1 offering. Swing and a miss. And the count 3-2. Raul Shah goes by Doc Shaw sometimes. He's got the creative cleats. Post those on Instagram. I believe it's you can go ahead and take a look at those. He loves the cleats. Has a 3-2 pitch, a little bit outside. It's ball 4. Some really creative designs. He's got some Scooby-Doo cleats. He's got, I mean, really, they're all over. They're just a whole bunch of them. He's got the cleats with the good doctor and the evil doctor on one of the 2 feet and each of the 2 cleats. So he's gotten very creative there. Two outs in the top of the 7th inning. First pitch to Zach Collier, who bats 3rd for the Blue Crabs, who takes a call and strike. And the count 0-1. So far, Martinez gone an inning of work, thrown 15 pitches. And he has allowed just 1 walk. Oh, 1 delivery. Big wave and a miss. Count no balls and 2 strikes on the lefty, Zach Collier. Blue Crabs bats today. The 6 hits, 1 from Sundberg, 1 from Shaw, 2 from Harris, a base hit from Crosby, and 1 from Hibbert as well. The count 0-2 on Collier right now. Check swing, and the catcher Brian Gonzalez lost the baseball. If he had caught that baseball, might have been strike 3. It was a close pitch. And that pitch was, according to our track man, about 3 to 4 inches outside, but based on Tony Gasandi's strike zone so far today, it might have been called strike 3. 2-2, top of the 7th. 1-2 pitch upcoming to Zach Collier. The pitch, that's away. Well, the fans here are going to get 50% off some donuts. Doesn't hurt. Sunday, you got to go out there and get some donuts. I did not today, but maybe tomorrow I'll go out and get some donuts. Blue Crabs the day off. Get the day off tomorrow as well. Be headed home. We're not going to be broadcasting the series in Gastonia. They have a full broadcast there already anyway, so you can go ahead and check out their broadcast as the 2-2 pitch runs inside and the count 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In a tie ball game, 2-2. On first base, it's Raul Shah. Collier at the plate. Blue Crabs looking to make some noise here in the 7th. Runner goes, pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Collier down swinging to end the top of the 7th inning. Martinez went a little bit low and away and gets Sundberg to bite for the final out. Well, it is time to get up and stretch here in Staten Island. We'll keep you here live for the 7th inning stretch for the performance of God Bless America here in Staten Island. Live back in the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch was a called strike, and now the second pitch also in there for a strike on Ramon Osuna. And the count 0-2 on the big lefty. Blue Crabs 2, Staten Island 2. 0-2 pitch, big wave and a miss, strike 3. Oh, a quick strikeout of Ramon Osuna. And there is one away. Here comes Brian Gonzalez, followed by Alfredo Reyes. First pitch called strike on a breaking ball, count 0-1. There still is a little bit of time for those ships to go by out in center field, but right now we're at 2. Dennis Moore decided he was going to comment here. 0-1 pitch, fouled back to count 0-2. He says, well, you sure you're watching? Look, 2 ghost ships just went by. Dennis Moore trying to pump up the numbers here. Well, Dennis, you said 6, and you're still the closest right now. The pitch on the ground over to shortstop, fielded by Michael Baca. He flips to first, 2 up and 2 down from Alex Marathieu, and he's got an opportunity to have the first traditional 1-2-3 inning of his performance tonight. Anyway, Butler's only pitched 6 2/3 innings. Oh, sorry, he's pitched 6 2/3 innings. He only pitched 82 pitches. So he's got a real chance at finishing off the 7th here and going back out for the 8th if he wants to. He might opt not to if the Blue Crabs decide to go to the bullpen. Nick Wells available today. Alcis Herrera available today. And, of course, Andres Briseño available today. First pitch called strike, and the count 0-1. Patrick Baker probably not available today. You'd have to think Dalton Geekie would be available, but the question mark goes to, well, at what inning do they go to which player? Especially if you got a tie game. Do you go with Andres Briseño in the 8th or 9th inning if this game's still tied? Well, Briseño now up and throwing, so it's possible that he's going to come in the 8th. He hasn't gotten a lot of pitches in recently. Maybe the Blue Crabs go to him for 2 innings. Latos threw a bullpen yesterday. He said he's on the way back. 1-1 pitch, hard line drive up the middle for a base hit. Past the outstretched reach of Michael Baca. A 2-out single for Alfredo Reyes back to the top of the lineup. And there's a runner on first and 2 outs for the Staten Island FerryHawks. A 2-2 ball game. Briseño throwing to Joe DeLuca, who is catching right now for Southern Maryland in the bullpen. We talked about this earlier, but it seems as though he's getting pretty close. Runner goes in the first pitch. In there for a strike. Strong throw to second. Do they get him? No, not quite. Shot thought he had him, but just a little bit late on the stolen base from Alfredo Reyes. And now there's a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Marathieu still yet to have that traditional 1-2-3 inning, as it's not going to come here in the 7th after the single. 6 2/3 innings, 10 hits. The 0-1 is popped up. It's the first baseman, Jared Walker, who stands right on first base where he makes the catch. And that ends the bottom of the 7th inning. We go to the top of the 8th. It's still 2-2. It's been 2-2 since the 5th inning here in Staten Island. Stick with us on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. top of the 8th inning, it's time for David Harris to come to the plate as the Blue Crabs send 4, 5, and 6 to the dish in the top of the 8th against Joe Kuzia in a 2-2 ball game. Kuzia with a 4.06 ERA. The first pitch a little bit inside in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Briseño up and throwing. It seems likely that he'll come in the 8th inning. Talked with Stan Clyburn before they started today's game, and it sounded as though Latos was iffy at best to come into this game, as the pitch is a little bit low. And the count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out on David Harris. Blue Crabs 2, Staten Island 2. Staten Island last scored a run back in the first inning as part of a 2-run home run. Pitch, that's inside, and the count 2-1. Give you the numbers on Alex Marathieu, and if his evening is over, 7 innings, 10 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. Strikeout numbers haven't been very high for Marathieu throughout the year, but you can't really argue with 7 innings and 2 earned runs despite the 10 hits. 2-1 pitch, that's up in the count, 3-1. Now, funny enough, Alex Marathieu went 8 innings, 3 hits last time out, and allowed 3 runs. This time, 7 innings, 10 hits, but allows just 2 runs. 3-1 pitch, that's foul back in the count, 3-2. David Harris. A couple of close pitches there. Kuzia's been right around 90 throughout the outing. Marathieu topped out today at 90.3. He averaged 88.3 on the fastball. And the 3-2, it's low, it's ball 4, so Harris reaches via the walk. Yeah, I'd have to imagine that if Briseño comes into this ball game, he'd be expected to go 2 innings. And it would make sense considering that the Blue Crabs haven't gone to Briseño much at all recently. And it's actually been incredible how little the Blue Crabs have gone to Andrés Briseño recently, especially with Matt Latos being out. And now that the Blue Crabs start to get him back, is that going to change anything? We'll have to see. First pitch called strike on Alex Crosby in the count 0-1. Andrés Briseño with a 0.69 ERA. He's pitched just twice in the last 2 weeks. As Kuzia tosses over to first to check on Harris. Crosby at the plate, Walker on deck. He'll be followed by Matt Hibbert. And now Braxton Lee's got a bat in the dugout. I'm not sure who he would pinch hit for. Either way, foul ball off the inside of Crosby's right foot. And if he's going to bat, the question is who would he take out? And I guess theoretically it would be Matt Hibbert, but Hibbert's hit pretty well recently. It's sort of the dilemma the Blue Crabs have is they have 4 strong outfielders between Sundberg, Collier, Lee, and Hibbert. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Now he's going to take off for first base, and the throw is in time, and Harris goes to second on the ball that got a little bit away. Typically, that would not be allowed, but because of the drop third strike rule, it is allowed. After Crosby went on the pitch. So it's strike 3. There's 1 out, but Harris advances to second base. An important play. Well, he still has the bat in his hand. The question is who he'd go in for. And at this point, it remains awfully unclear. I guess it might be possible he'd go in for Baca, and then you change things around. Maybe Wolanski gets back into the lineup, but probably not. as he was ruled out for today's game. And Baca is on deck. And you look maybe at the bottom of the lineup with Falsetti, but there's no one to come in and catch. So Lee is holding the bat, but I'm not sure where or when he might go into this ball game. Well, first pitch away to Walker. Count 1 ball and no strikes on the lefty. 2-2. Staten Island scored 2 in the first. The Blue Crabs 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. That's all the scoring so far. And the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. We had a medium-sized ship that went by in center field, and now we've got the massive ship, the MSC Ivana. MSC Lines, well, that ship is absolutely massive toward left field. You'll see it go by. So Dennis Moore, he had those 2 ghost ships. We had the ship in center field. We close it up right now. I'm going to go with 4 ships total. 4. We'll go 4. As the 1-1 pitch in there for a strike, and the count 1-2. That's where we close things up. Dennis Moore, he gets 6 ships. We understand the camera angle is off, so we're going to fix that camera angle for you. We apologize, the camera angle is off. And the pitch, ground ball, foul over to the first base side. We apologize for the camera angle there in the middle of the 7th inning. For the 7th inning stretch, we checked that, and then it's now back. So the camera angle is backing up. We apologize that it was down for a period of time. There were a total of 4 ships that went by in our time frame, so that just about does it. As the pitch is a little bit upstairs, count 2-2. We turned it down for the 7th inning stretch, and we apologize we did not bring that one back up. And now the camera is back up to the proper level. Top of the 8th inning, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jared Walker. Here's the pitch. Inbound. Swinging a high fly ball, center field. It is the center fielder Ricardo Cespedes who ranges over to left center, who makes the catch. And there are 2 away. Well, now it's up. We apologize again for the delay. Had a number of comments in our YouTube chat. We finished with 4 ships, and that means who was closest today. Sounds like Allison Shipley and Dennis Moore were the 2 that finished closest with 6 ships. That is a massive container ship. Have to see if Wes Mumper's around. Maybe he can tell us where MSC Shipping hails from. What flag do they fly under? The U.S. flag? Well, here comes Braxton Lee, a pinch hitter who enters in place of Matt Hibbert, and the pitch is low and in, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. So Braxton Lee got the day off today, and he comes in as a pinch hitter as Andres Briseño continues to warm up for the Blue Crabs. Now the question is Alex Merrithew's evening finished? 1-0 pitch called strike, count 1-1, but for now the Blue Crabs threatening offensively. Harris led off the inning with a walk. And from there, a ground out to first base. Walker down via the flyout, but still, runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Lee with an opportunity to give the Blue Crabs a lead. Pitch, line drive, left, right field, base hit. Harris rounds third. Throw to the plate. It's a good one, but it's not in time. RBI single for Braxton Lee. The Blue Crabs have a 3-2 lead in the top of the 8th. Lee comes through again for Southern Maryland. He comes through in a pinch hitting spot. So the Blue Crabs now ahead 3-2 in the 8th. On a ground ball to right off the bat of Braxton Lee. Lined it through the hole between first base and second. And he's given the Blue Crabs their first lead of the game. It's 3-2 as Michael Baca now steps in. Well, Stan Clyburn pushing all the right buttons at the right times. Matt Hibbert went 1 for 3 today, but he thought that with the righty pitcher Joe Kuzia going against the lefty Braxton Lee, who's hitting north of 315, that would be the move, and it paid off. Michael Baca, count 0-1 on the righty. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a strike, count 0-2. The Blue Crabs with a big piece of hitting from Braxton Lee with a runner on second base and 2 outs. The Blue Crabs come through. And now the question is, do the Blue Crabs go to Endris Briseño for the 8th and 9th? Do they go back to Merrithew? What do the Blue Crabs go with? Merrithew, again, hasn't thrown all that many pitches. He's only thrown 87. He went 115 in his last start. The pitch, that's inside, and the count 1-2. You have to keep in mind that despite the fact Merrithew's only allowed 2 runs today, he's allowed 11 base runners, 10 hits, and a walk. That's not what he did last time around. Last time out, 8 innings, 3 runs, but just 3 hits and no walks. Difference between 3 walks and hits and 11. It's a lot. 1-2 pitch, close, just inside, count 2-2. Now, if the Blue Crabs can add some insurance runs before the end of the top of the 8th inning and score Lee, that might change the equation, but as is, I could see the Blue Crabs making the move at the end of 7. After Merrithew pitched 7 really strong innings. Pitch fly ball, right field. Rusney Castillo ranges over toward the first base line where he makes the catch out in right field for the final out. Well, that ends the top of the 8th inning, not before the Blue Crabs score a run. It's Endris Briseño who trots in from the bullpen looking to get the job done for the Blue Crabs. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. It's 3-2 Southern Maryland.
Are you in the market for a new roof? Well, give William Richmond Inc. a call and get serviced by Southern Maryland's premier roofing contractor. Locally owned and operated, William Richmond Inc. is licensed, bonded, and insured and has a 5-star rating on Home Advisor. They care about their work almost as much as they care about your home. Call 443-432-3426 today for a free estimate, or go to williamrichmondinc.com. Don't forget to mention the Blue Crabs and save 10% on any service.
Well, it's Andres Briseño who enters the ball game in the top of the eighth, in the bottom of the eighth inning, I should say. Blue Crabs ahead 3-2 as Briseño, I'd imagine he's expected to pitch the eighth and very possibly the ninth inning as well. Briseño has pitched just twice since July 31st, once on August 6th, once on August 9th. First pitch called strike on Herrera, and the count 0-1. Briseño goes with two primary pitches, a fastball and a slider. 0-1 pitch in there for a strike, and the count 0-2. No balls and two strikes on the righty. 95 on the sinker, 82 on the curveball, and now the 0-2 pitch, fastball comes up and in, and Herrera actually gets a piece of it accidentally. The count remains no balls and two strikes. Says Briseño throwing just 95 right now. He has been throwing 96 and 97 a lot recently. I don't know if the radar gun here might just be clocking things a little more slowly than the one in Southern Maryland, as the 0-2 pitch a little low, count 1-2. But whatever the reason, it does seem as though the velocities are down a tick. 1-2 pitch, another breaking ball on the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes as it falls away from Dilson Herrera. Blue Crabs picked up the go-ahead run in the 8th. An RBI single from Braxton Lee into right field scored David Harris from second. Two-two pitch, slow ground ball. It's off his front foot. It's going to be a foul ball. It looked like that was headed over to the third baseman, Crosby, and now the trainer is going to come out to have a chat with Dilson Herrera. Herrera, the two-hitter, he's 0 for 3 today, struck out once. 2, 3, and 4 will be followed by Angel Aguilar, who hit the 2-run home run back in the first. And Rusney Castillo, who's 1 for 3 on the day. The middle of the order for Staten Island has been really good so far. The 6th pitch of the at-bat, Dilson Herrera hits that ball off of his front left foot. We'll have to see if he can remain in the ball game. Either way, that ends Alex Marathieu's evening as Andres Briseño has entered. Marathieu, 7 innings, 10 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. For Briseño, thrown 6 pitches so far. His ERA at 0.69, while Marathieu's at 3.93. As it looks as though Dilson Herrera is going to remain in this game, and he's going to apply that shin guard and the foot guard, and I think it might be a little too late, but probably wishes he did that on the pitch prior. Clearly not at full strength still. As Braxton Lee had walked over to the first baseman, Jared Walker, to have a chat. Jack Sundberg and Zach Collier having a conversation out in center. And now it looks as though the batter, Dilson Herrera, is ready to go. So the fielders back to their respective positions. And the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes, certainly a stalling tactic of sorts. Although, of course, Herrera was clearly in a lot of pain. As Briseño fires the 2-2 pitch, swinging a line drive, right field, shallow, long run. Lee charging in, no one's going to get there. Base hit down the right field line, perfectly placed from Dilson Herrera, who can barely run because the ball hit off of his foot. And it looks as though they're going to bring a pinch runner into the game. You'd think so at this point, and they will. Pinch runner is going to enter the ball game in place of Dilson Herrera. So Herrera out. bring in the pinch runner with 2 outs, with nobody out, I beg your pardon, in the bottom of the 8th inning. It's Andres Briseño on what was just a lazy pop-up down the first base line in no man's land. They track exit velocity, how hard a ball was hit off the bat. That ball was hit less than 70 miles an hour. That's a slow pop-up is what that is, but Briseño has to pay for it as he gives up the base hit to get things going in the bottom of the 8th inning. And Angel Aguilar to the plate next. First pitch, ground ball to third, could be 2, on a second for 1, back to first, 5, 4, 3, double play around the horn. 2 away in the bottom of the 8th, exactly what the doctor ordered for Andres Briseño on a first pitch double play from Angel Aguilar. And here comes Rusney Castillo. So 2 away now in the bottom of the 8th for the righty Castillo. It'll be Castillo followed by a pitch. This is a ground ball through the right side for a base hit. 2 hits allowed in an inning by Andres Briseño. This is almost unheard of. We'll have to find the last time that happened. Briseño allowed 2 hits in the entire month of July across 10 2/3 innings. The last time, well, that's the first time. The first time all year long that Andres Briseño has allowed 2 hits in an inning. Well, get that, wow. Not the hardest hit balls. Herrera hit that ball again very softly at less than 70 miles an hour. Be interested to see what that most recent one was. Probably in the 80s, maybe 90 miles an hour. It's not a hot shot through the right side, though. More of a seeing eye hit than anything else. Pitch, ground ball, foul. First base side. Well, they said that's at 105. That was one of the hardest hit balls today, according to our TrackMan. Didn't seem that hard hit, but I guess it can be kind of tough to tell. Count 0-1 now on Ricardo Cespedes. First pitch, line drive, foul. Well, the velocity on the pitch was 95.7 from Briseño. Runner on first base, 2 outs. Count no balls and 2 strikes now on Ricardo Cespedes. Here's the 0-2. A little bit up and away, count 1-2. Briseño has thrown 12 pitches so far, 9 strikes, just 3 balls. Got a little bit of room for error here on Cespedes, but he's 3 for 3 today. And the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Briseño strikes out Ricardo Cespedes. And that ends the bottom of the 8th inning. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs still lead the Staten Island FerryHawks 3-2. We go to the top of the 9th inning on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. welcome you back. In the top of the ninth inning, the first pitch a little bit low to Mike Falsetti, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. The Blue Crabs have a 3-2 lead. Took that lead in the top of the 8th on an RBI single from Braxton Lee, who pinch hit for Matt Hibbert. 1-0 pitch from Joe Kuzia, popped up foul first base side. Andres Briseño pitched the 9th inning, allowed a leadoff single on a pop-up down the first base line, and then got a 5-4-3 double play. Allowed another single to the right side, and then got a strikeout on Ricardo Cespedes. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch, called strike, and the count 1-2. So our winners today, we went through these already, but it was Allison Shipley, who is Tammy Shipley's daughter, who guessed 6. Dennis Moore guessed 6. They were the 2 closest. 1-2, slow roller over to the second baseman. It's Herrera who picks up and fires to first in time for the out. It's actually Joe Kuzia covering over at first base. And so there is 1 away. And here comes Jack Sundberg. Dennis Moore also gave us the location from the MSC ship lines. I was asking about this earlier. He says Geneva, Switzerland. Here's the pitch to Jack Sundberg, called strike, and the count 0-1. Also have a comment from Melissa A., who says that the Blue Crabs need to bring the flex cam to Regency. Well, you know, it's not a bad idea. They've got the flex cam here in Staten Island. And it might be a nice addition down at the Reg in Waldorf. Have to talk to our video team about that one. And our 0-1 pitch is a little bit low. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Blue Crabs ahead by 1 in the top of the 9th. You have to imagine Briseño will go back to the mound for the bottom of the 9th inning. 1-1 delivery, called strike, outside corner, count 1-2. It'll be Sundberg followed by Shaw here in the top of the 9th. Blue Crabs looking for back-to-back wins to finish off this series. Blue Crabs had won 4 in a row. They lost the final game at home and then lost the opening game here in Staten Island as the 1-2 pitch is fouled off to the third base side. Nearly hit someone in the Staten Island dugout. So after winning 4 in a row, dropping back-to-back games, the Blue Crabs now looking for 6 wins in their last 8 tries with a win today. We'll go back to Andres Briseño for the 9th. Pitch, ground ball over to second base. It's the second baseman Herrera who tosses to first once again. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the 9th. And no action at all in the Blue Crabs bullpen, so it sounds like a bullpen that the Blue Crabs at one point had a ton of faith in to go to multiple guys for the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. It looks like it's really just Briseño at this point who the Blue Crabs are going to in high leverage situations. We saw Alcis Herrera, who had trouble on Friday. First pitch to Raul Shaw, breaking ball, swing and a miss, count 0-1. He ran into trouble back. That was on Friday night. Blue Crabs had a 4-1 lead. He entered, and they had a 4-2 lead. And by the time he exited the ball game, it was 6-4 Staten Island. 0-1 delivery to Shaw. Big wave and a miss, count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Southern Maryland 3, Staten Island 2. Oh, 2 delivery. Line drive foul. That one overhead toward the suites up on that top level. Not a packed house, but on Sundays you don't expect all the fans to be here. But for those who are, it's a nice day for baseball. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. Raul Shah goes down, swinging to end the top of the ninth inning. We go to the bottom of the ninth inning. Andres Briseño will return for his second inning of work as the Blue Crabs look for back-to-back wins. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Blue Crabs Baseball on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. Andres Briseño will try to give the Blue Crabs back-to-back wins and close out the 100th game of the season with a victory. The Blue Crabs enter 68-31. With a win today, they'll have a .690 winning percentage on the season across the first 100 games and would inch a little closer to Lancaster or maintain the current deficit, as the Blue Crabs still chasing that second half division lead, behind by 3.5 games. And the first pitch in there for a called strike on Mario Bautista. Well, Briseño faced the top of the order, the middle of the order last time up, now has to deal with the back half of the order as the 0-1 pitch is fouled away. Bautista, Osuna, and Gonzalez, 6, 7, and 8 for the FerryHawks. No balls and 2 strikes on the righty. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Andres Briseño powers the fastball past Bautista, and there's one away. That last fastball coming in at 96 from Briseño. A trio of sinkers for the strikeout as Ramon Osuna will come to the plate. Briseño's ERA at 0.66. Remember, he did allow 2 hits in this ball game. As the pitch in there for a called strike, it's the first time all season long he's allowed 2 hits in an appearance. Did not come back to bite him, though, as he had a double play ball mixed in. 0-1 pitch, called strike, and the count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 9th inning. On Ramon Osuna. Briseño looking for a strikeout. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Did it again. Oh, how about this? 6 pitches, 6 strikes, 2 strikeouts for Andres Briseño. And a pinch hitter comes to the plate. It's Antoine Duplantis. Those last 2 fastballs, his hardest, at a touch over 96 apiece to blow it past Osuna. Now he's got Antoine Duplantis to deal with. Duplantis comes in as a pinch hitter in place of Brian Gonzalez. The first pitch, is that low? No, it is. It's ball 1. Well, that ends any chance at an immaculate inning after 6 pitches and 6 strikes from Andres Briseño. He did throw a ball. And now the 1-0 delivery to Duplantis. That's a called strike. Right back on track after ball 1. Six pitches, 2 outs, and 2 strikeouts to get things going. Now the count 1-1 on Duplantis. Here's the offering. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball in the dirt. Count 1-2. That first pitch was really close. It really was. Now, there is an argument that maybe he should have had a strike on that. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Duplantis. Briseño 1 strike away from winning this ball game for Southern Maryland. Looking for his 4th strikeout of the appearance. Pitch popped up foul, third base side. And the count remains 1-2. Blue Crabs 3, Staten Island 2. The Southern Maryland Blue Crabs will go from here to Gastonia. Gastonia, North Carolina. We will not have those broadcasts for you. You'll have to go ahead and check it out on the Gastonia Honey Hunters page. 1-2 pitch, up and away, count 2-2. From there, the Blue Crabs return home to take on the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes for a 3-game set. Blue Crabs then go on the road for 3 at York and then return home for 3. That'll take you to the end of August. But for now, the Blue Crabs in game 3. 2-2 pitch. That one's fouled off yet again. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 9th inning. Andres Briseño looking to pick up the victory for Southern Maryland. This will be the 26th pitch of the appearance from Briseño, who's looking to go 6 outs for the save and the win. Pitch, ground ball over to first. Fielded between the legs by Walker. The flip to Briseño, a very bad one. And everyone's going to be safe, or Duplantis is going to be safe at first base. I don't really know what was going on there. Walker had a pretty easy flip to Briseño to end the ball game, and then he just didn't. He flipped it low, and that keeps this game alive. It should have ended this ball game. Blue Crabs should be winners right now, 3-2. Instead, they keep on moving. Well, a tough break for everybody on the Blue Crabs, as that was about to end the ball game. The flip from Walker, not a good one. And now to the 9-hitter. Alfredo Reyes, who's hit quite well today. He's 2 for 3. On the year, just a 246 hitter. 1 home run on the year. 588 OPS. Briseño, first pitch. On the ground, this one over to short. Fielded on the forehand by Baca. The flip to second is in time, and that is the final out. Andres Briseño allows 2 hits today. He strikes out 3. He picks up the win. He picks up the save, and the Blue Crabs take home the victory 3-2. Not the cleanest game of baseball from Southern Maryland. They made a couple of errors. They allowed 12 hits, but they pick up a 3-2 win anyway, making the most of their opportunities. We're going to run through some of the numbers for Southern Maryland at the plate, a couple of numbers on the mound, and your scoring plays in today's ball game, and we'll send you on your way. Again, we won't be back with you until Friday. On Friday, back at home when the Blue Crabs take on Kentucky, we'll be back with you for that ball game. Jack Sundberg 1 for 5 today. He scored a run. Raul Shah 1 for 4. He drove in a run. Zach Collier was 0 for 4. He struck out twice. David Harris 2 for 3. 2 runs scored and a walk. He scored the go-ahead run in the top of the 8th. David Harris, again, he is going to be your offensive player of the game as Crosby went 1 for 4. He also had an RBI. Walker 0 for 2. He did walk once. Matt Hibbert 1 for 3. He struck out. And then Braxton Lee, probably your secondary player of the game, as he was 1 for 1 with an RBI single to right. All right, the pitchers for the Blue Crabs. Alex Marathu, 7 innings, 10 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He did allow a home run. Briseño, 2 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 3 strikeouts. His ERA drops to 0.65. Marathu's down to 3.93. As Alex Marathu is putting together some of his best starts of the year here in the month of August. He has allowed 3 runs or fewer and gone 7 innings or further in each of his first 3 starts. So far, 22 innings across the month of August, having allowed just 7 earned runs. It's been a spectacular performance from the righty. And if you take out the first 2 innings of each ball game, the numbers get even better. He's only allowed 2 earned runs outside of the first 2 innings of the ball games he's pitched in. So he gets better as he goes along, or at least has been over the course of the month of August. His velocity was down a tick today, but he still managed to keep the Staten Island FerryHawks bats at bay for the most part. Briseño, of course, comes in and gets the job done. And it's just sort of been as per usual for the righty this season. Your scoring plays today was Angel Aguilar, who hit his 12th home run of the year over the wall in left field, scoring Joseph Monhe. And that gave the FerryHawks a 2-0 lead. That's all the scoring they would get. Did not score for the final 8 2/3 innings. It was Alex Crosby who doubled on a line drive to left to bring in Harris in the 4th. In the 5th inning, Raul Shaw hit a line drive to center field that brought in Jack Sundberg, who had previously tripled. In the top of the 8th inning with a runner on second base, it's Braxton Lee who comes through. An RBI single to right to give the Blue Crabs a 3-2 lead, a lead they would hold and end up holding on to. That does it from us here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. The Blue Crabs are winners tonight, 3-2. A terrific 7-inning performance from Alex Marathu and 6 outs from Endres Briseño to clinch the victory. Well, that's going to do it from us here on the Hometown Real Estate Broadcast Network. We'll see you all on Friday night. Join Gastonia and their broadcast for Tuesday night's matchup. Until then, have a terrific week, everybody. And we finish, as always, with Let's Go Blue Crabs.